Hi there, you're watching or listening to Uriah Academy, podcast by Uriah Aili. Today we're thrilled to have Uriah. So Uriah, welcome to the Uriah Academy. We're really thrilled to have you here. Can you start by telling us a bit about yourself and your journey as a runner?
Yes. Well, hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on here. This is something that I'm excited to do. I think
Thank you for joining us.
When I first ran into UltraK in the American College of Sports Medicine meeting, it was awesome. And so I guess to start off, I'm a professional runner, Division I runner. Well, Division I runner right now, and I will be transitioning into a professional runner as soon as my eligibility is all used up. And so I've always been a person who tracks my nutrition, tracks the supplements I take. And then I never tracked hydration. I always just thought, let's try to drink a gallon a day. However, I didn't actually know, because it's kind of gross to carry around just a gallon jug. I did that for a while, but it's just annoying. It was kind of a hassle.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wouldn't get through it all. And also other water bottles. I've literally lost 10 or 15 water bottles. And so that was like one thing where I just didn't get a new water bottle for like 8 months. And I'm just drinking out of whatever I can. And then I got to the point where I got lucky and ran into UltraK and started going from there. And it's helped me every single day to drink as much water as I need. And I'm confident and certain in how much water I'm drinking, which is, I think, the biggest game changer for someone like myself who, is trying to train at the elite level, is competing against a ton of other people who are doing all the right things. And I'm about finding the incremental difference. And this has helped me find that little incremental difference in staying on top of hydration so I can recover better and feel better going into the workouts or races.
Awesome. That's so exciting for us to hear as the creators of the product. When we work sometimes in the office, in the lab, and it's always exciting to go out there and speak to real users like yourself that gain amazing value. And in a professional level, that's even more of a wow. But maybe could you explain to perhaps listeners that aren't very aware of like how it works with the Division I? And I think also going back to your story, you started for shorter distances and now you run longer distances, or am I mistaken?
Yeah. So you want to know how I got into the running scene there?
Yeah.
Well, it started off in my junior year in high school. I was a regular athlete like everybody else, trying to do as many sports as possible. In America, a lot of the public school systems are very good to allow for, in-school sports all the time. So I wanted to do all of them, but going into in my junior year, going into my senior year, I ended up getting really lucky and finding a personal coach. His name is Dr. Toit. Me and him are now colleagues and good friends and business partners. We've created a vitamin company, and that's kind of what we do on our end, and that's how I ran into the water bottle company.
Yeah.
But he started coaching myself way back in the day, and I was always like, I was into basketball, football, so I didn't like the distance running. I didn't want to get skinny. I didn't want to get the runner look. I wanted to be jacked. And so that's kind of why I was in the sprints for a little bit. I was doing pole vault, discus, high jump, all that type of stuff. And things were going well, but then I started getting into distance running a little bit more. And fast forward from when I started that summer, my junior year, that summer going into my senior year, I decided I didn't want to lose a race. And I told my coach that this is what I want to do. I want to win every race. I want to win all the state championships, set every school record. And he didn't even blink. He didn't even question that was my goal. He's like, okay, I'll help you do it, and then some. And he was the person who was like, you want to get a full Division I scholarship? And at this time, I can't even break 5 minutes in the mile. I haven't won one race. And so this is the type of stuff that got me into it. And so we started doing a bunch of training with hurdle drills, heart rate training based on the central governor theory. And so I've done well in the 400 all the way up to the 10K due to that background of
Wow.
being an athlete and transitioning into the distance side. So it's been very fun to be able to run 400s and then transition over to 10,000 meters. It's fun. Uh-oh, my light shut off. Yeah.
Wow.
So much technology.
Yeah, it could be like a cool addition afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the distance that you run is 10K, or do you run longer distances as well?
I'm sorry, you guys were cutting out there right now. I can't quite hear.
No, that's fine. I asked if so your distance that you run now is the 10K.
Oh, I ran a lot of 10Ks. However, I'm focusing and I'm specializing in the 800 and 1500. I do dabble in the 10K just because cross country in the NCAA, you have the cross country season and the indoor and outdoor seasons. So luckily, I was our top distance runner at a Division II school I was at. So I was our lead guy for 2-3 years, and so I was forced to do well in the 10K because I had to for the team, and because I'm a competitive person, I don't like to lose and I don't like to not give it my best shot. So whenever it was cross country season, I would be diving in, doing all the work that I can, and able to do well in those events. But I really am specializing in the 800 and 1500 now because once I get out of the NCAA, I want to make a run at the Olympic trials, and I got to hit those standards. And for these type of events now at this next level, you got to be very specific. It's very rare that an athlete can qualify in multiple events.
Yeah.
So this is now why I'm sticking to the 800, 1500 because I feel like it's my strongest suit because I have good foot speed, but I also have the endurance. And mixing those two and meeting in the middle at the middle distance events, that seems to be my sweet spot.
Wow, fascinating.
Amazing. Well, you were talking a few minutes ago about the water supplements company. Do you want to tell us a bit about it? The name is UltraK, correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yes.
So do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Our company is called UltraK Vitamins, and we specialize in endurance performance. So we create vitamins that help athletes increase everything there is with endurance running. And one big thing that we know, without the heart, if the pump don't pump, you don't go. So that was one area where we focused on. And I'm not the brains of the operation. I know how this works in the body. I've used it for many, many years. However, Dr. Toit is one who specializes in the creation of the formula, all of the research behind it. And what we've discovered is super high doses of vitamin K that is offered in our product, as well as astaxanthin and vitamin D together. We've proven to increase cardiac output in endurance athletes 10 to 12% over an 8 to 12 week period. And that's without that's only the vitamin side. So a lot of the studies that we're referencing, it's athletes who maintain their same training program and regimen. They're not doing more miles or less miles. They're not doing harder workouts or easier workouts. They're maintaining over steady state over 8 to 12 weeks. And in that time frame, their cardiac output does increase 10, 12%. So that could mean a 12% increase in VO2 max, which is an indicator of fitness. That's how people go and measure fitness. And VO2 max is a number that gets thrown around all the time. And 40 is all right, 50 is good, and 60 and above for males is very, very elite, considered elite. And over the past 6 years, I've been taking these supplements and training. I've gotten my VO2 max to 72, which is a difficult number to achieve. I'm happy with the number, but I want a lot more. Another thing I'll mention with a marathoner that we started working with, his VO2 max was 63.3, and he was a guy doing 100-mile weeks for like 6 years leading up to this point. And he had a PR of 2:23 in the marathon. So he's a very elite runner. And so we tested his VO2 max at 63.3. And then only thing we changed is that vitamin into his nutritional routine. And he increased his VO2 max from 63.3 to 67.7. And that was the only thing that changed. And he eventually went on to get 5th in the world at the World Run. His name is Max Robb. He is an amazing athlete. He's a professional runner for ultra running. But we also help him here on the vitamin side. So those are the type of cool things that we get to do, people we work with. And I get to do all the cool things and meet with these people and talk with them. And
awesome.
So I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it.
Is this product solely aiming to runners, or like everyone like me can use them and find it beneficial?
Yeah. It started off as general health and for helping solve chronic health diseases, cardiovascular diseases, osteoporosis, diabetes, a bunch of these things. So it started as the general health. And we have another company called Concentrated K that focuses on, it's more so the older generation. And then now we've just noticed all of the benefits that are the general health benefits that anybody can get. But now we've transitioned another branch, which is UltraK for endurance athletes. So it's not exclusive to runners. It's exclusive to anyone who falls under the endurance athlete category. So that could be anybody training for couch to 5K or a 200-mile race, because some people are doing that now for whatever reason.
Wow.
Amazing.
Or any type of sport, soccer, football, basketball. Everything has endurance and running involved. And so we feel like we can help give that incremental edge to any sport.
So from what I understand, the uniqueness is that you kind of discovered is the benefits of vitamin K, because I until now I didn't really hear so much about that.
Neither am I.
Talking about endurance athletes, you hear about electrolytes. There's a lot of different brands.
And vitamin D, I didn't know either that it has something to do with endurance and sports like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's kind of why it was a perfect lining. It was a perfect moment to where we realized, okay, this is not a lot of information that's really public. It's not super common knowledge in terms of vitamin K supplements. Nutrition is talked about, but we focus on narrowing it down and giving people the facts so our website is full of just information on supplements, vitamins, and training, and we give the peer-reviewed research to it. So we are fully open with all the research that we talk about and that we like to show. And so when people are reading upon it, we don't just talk about our product. We talk about everything involved in terms of endurance. And we provide the information with the research. And if this is something you feel that can benefit you, then by all means, we're going to be there to help support you and give you any more information. And so that's kind of our strategy and how we're going about it. And all these vitamins, it's beyond incredible how important they are to the human body. And you aren't what you eat, you are what you absorb. So that's one thing that we like to talk about. And
True.
With vitamin D, vitamin K, those are two things that your body just absolutely needs, especially vitamin D. Oh, here we go.
Vitamin D is like something that all of us, I think, lacking in the modern days because we don't go out to the sun enough. And that's a problem.
Yeah.
We're stuck indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And so how do you absorb vitamin K aside from taking pills? Is it in food?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'm glad you guys both mentioned that. Before I go to the how much on the vitamin K, vitamin D is one of the most important vitamins in the whole body because it regulates hundreds of hormonal balances. And also most athletes are vitamin D deficient. Actually, 80% of the population is vitamin D deficient. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so athletes, it's been shown that athletes now burn vitamin D a lot faster than people who aren't working out and exercising. So that's another reason why, okay, if you give healthy amounts, 5 to 10,000 a day is safe. 5,000 is more safe, and that anybody can take that, and that'll get you to adequate levels or a little bit above. And a little bit above adequate levels increases power output, performance, muscle recovery, a whole mess load of things. But with vitamin K, this is how you can get vitamin K. It's through greeny leafy vegetables. However, in order to absorb, because like we mentioned, you aren't what you eat, you are what you absorb. In order to absorb the amount of vitamin K that we offer in our products, it's equivalent to eating 100 heads of lettuce or 84 cups of sauerkraut.
Oh my God.
So it's really not feasible for someone to go and eat that much greeny leafy vegetables. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
And so we offer the amount that gives the people that boost that they need and the actual benefits that they're looking for. And it's through the absorption of high doses. And it's crazy to think that one little pill has the same amount of bioavailability as eating 100 heads of lettuce. It's kind of wild.
Yeah. Wow.
So that is what sets you apart from other water supplements like the vitamin K.
Yeah, that definitely does set us apart. We are the fifth largest distributor of vitamin K in the world, so that definitely helps. And it's been something that have really enjoyed. I've really enjoyed being a part of, and we're excited to reach as many people as we can. And we've reached so many cool people already that I can't even imagine the people that we're going to be mingling with, talking with, other companies as well. It's so fun. And meeting people like yourselves this is fun stuff to me, because it's great to sit down and talk with people who like to dive into what's going on here. Like, you guys solved a huge problem with the water bottle. And one thing I mentioned with I was looking for a water bottle, but I've lost 10 or 15 of them.
Yeah.
The first thing I said when I looked at this bottle, I was walking through, this was at the American College of Sports Medicine, and I'm like, oh, I need a water bottle. And I see this, and I'm like, it's $100. I'm going to lose it. Like, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
And the first thing they're like, oh, wait, it's got a tracker right here. You can find it. So I was like, okay, I'm sold. I'm hooked on it. There we go. How do we get started? How do I start it? And yeah, so I've been using this for a long time now.
We have a tradition. You might want to take part it.
We forgot. That's right.
Tilt our bottle and see if we're hydrated. So my guess is that I'm orange.
Right. Oh,
green.
nice. All green.
There we go. All greens around the board. Nice.
Perfect.
Very nice. Very nice. So that's a good pathway that you mentioned, the bottle, because I wanted to ask if you felt, what kind of difference have you felt since you start using it? First of all, I guess I should ask, how long have you been using it, and what kind of differences have you felt or seen
After
with your
using
eyes?
it for a while?
Yeah. Great question. So that's the biggest thing, is people want to know how is this going to help them, and why does it matter? And so I'm a elite runner, and training to the absolute max is going to drain you of all your nutrients, and especially your hydration, especially down here in North Carolina when it's very hot. It's been 95 degrees all summer. I'm from Upper Michigan, so coming down here was a big change, and I was sweating out a lot of my nutrients and hydration. And in our website, UltraK Vitamins, we do talk about the importance of hydration. And this is something where we thought was very important to talk about. And so this has helped me to recover better, because I'm actually getting the amount of water that I need. It's very easy to be dehydrated at certain points of the day. And that was one thing that this helps me to stay hydrated throughout the day. It's not like if you just chug a gallon of water at the end of the day, it's not like you're as hydrated as someone who spreads that
it's
gallon
unhealthy.
out throughout the day.
It can get your body into stress.
Like you spoke about absorbing things in your body. So something interesting about water is it's not just about chugging down water. Like you mentioned, it's better to spread it out throughout the day. And if you're an endurance athlete, that's why you need electrolytes, because at some point you can just drink water and flush it out, and it won't be absorbed in your body unless you add electrolytes.
Very not recommended.
Yes, exactly. And so that's kind of that's what's been the biggest help in making me feel better. And when I say feel better, what does that mean? The feeling better is my sleep is a little bit deeper. So I actually track everything in terms of my RMR, my resting metabolic rate. And I can see whether I had a good day of recovery or a bad day of recovery based on what my heart's doing. And so every time I'm properly hydrated, I have the lowest beats per minute I'm sleeping. And so my recovery is at its best. And that's all the endurance training is. Recovery. So if you can optimize that, then you are going to be in a great spot. And this allows me to do that throughout the whole day evenly, because yes, you are what you absorb, and you're not going to recover well if you're spreading your hydration way apart and you're missing 3-4 hours of the day on proper water intake. You need to be having it.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's amazing that you actually mentioned all the things that we always say to people when they ask what water does to your body. And actually, it's so basic, and most of us don't drink enough water. And look how big of a change it can make.
Yeah, I think also the part of the issue is that we're not very aware of our bodies and ourselves today. Everyone's in their with their eyeballs on the screens all day and the smartphones, and you don't really know like if you drank or you didn't drink or how you're feeling or how you slept. And now this new trend that's becoming very popular, which makes it all that more fascinating, of people like with watches and rings
They're
and,
actually
and bands.
tracking
They're
everything,
tracking it, yeah.
but then they're not tracking
Yeah.
water, which is like one of the most basic things.
Yeah,
Like
that's
you're
what we're here
breathing,
for.
you're breathing, you're drinking water, and I mean, so basic. So
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And it's so exciting, Uriah, to hear about your sleep. The CTO of our company, I think, we're like really love to hear that, because we're always
Awesome.
curious to hear from people like how well, and it's always better if there is some like data to rely on. And in your case, it's really fascinating.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's the data is very important, and that's something when you're in the vitamin company, it's like you have to have the research, you have to have data, and you have to measure things. And I'm an athlete who likes to measure what I'm putting into my body, what I'm doing, and everything is measured, so I can be certain of the path that I'm going. You have to know where you are in order to know where you're going. So it definitely has been a step to help me know where I was at. And one thing I like to add to that is a story of my of my mom, who did not do well with tracking her hydration. Here, let me turn this on. Okay, she did not do well with tracking hydration. She was actually I had her track her nutrition for a week. I said, "Don't change it. Do exactly what you're doing, and I'll help you out at the end of the week." And we found out she was having more coffee than water. And of course, she was still drinking water. But it was one thing that allowed her to know, oh no, I am way behind on my hydration, and I've been having more coffee than water. And coffee doesn't hydrate you. If anything, it makes it worse. And same with a lot of other drinks people are having. So this is really cool that you can also put in what other types of hydration you're having, even coffee, and it'll readjust from there, which I found to be really cool, because I'm someone who does have coffee. I don't really have a lot of caffeine. But there's other people out there having tons of different drinks and tons of different ways of hydration. Some things might not be as hydrating as they think. So it's pretty cool that you can add other types in there. And for someone like my mom, it was very easy for her to tell, okay, this is where I'm at. This is where I need to be. How do I get there one step at a time? And so I think that's really cool that you guys offer that. And it's very user-friendly for someone to try to make it work. I'm someone who grew up without internet till I was 17 years old.
Wow.
So I'm not really I'm not a techno savvy person. So I like things that are simple, and this is simple.
You know, we had an interviewer a few weeks ago, I think, who told us about him buying his grandma, which is 90. He bought her one of our bottles, and she just get along with it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a famous sentence
definitely.
for product managers when we talk to developers or technical people, that they try to explain technical stuff, and there's a famous sentence to say, if a grandmother doesn't understand it, then it's too complicated. Because at the end of the day, you want the product to be easy to use. You want it to be simple, like Uriah mentioned.
Yeah.
I think we're already
Running out
out
time.
of schedule. So, Uriah, just to finish up, perhaps maybe you can say where users, listeners can find information about UltraK.
Yeah, thank you so much for allowing me to speak on that. So if anybody is interested in endurance performance or any type of vitamins, or even a website that's going to help you discover all the information you need with peer-reviewed research, so you can absolutely trust it, the best place to go is ultrakvitamins.com. Starts with a U, UltraK. And it's going to be a fun spot to go check out. And you can read upon everything there is with endurance training, down to exactly how it works in your body with this supplement, this vitamin, and what is it going to do for you, and also why is it important. So we offer all that information, and so that's one place where you can find it. And we're also available on Amazon. I believe you can find us on Amazon through endurance performance products. However, finding us on ultrakvitamins.com is probably the easiest way to find that.
Are you selling somewhere outside of the US?
We sell everywhere in the world. I think the only place we can't sell is Brazil for whatever reason. There's some countries are odd when what you can and can't ship, but we can sell anywhere in the world.
Amazing.
Awesome. So on that note, thank you so much, Uriah, for joining us today.
Thank
it was
you, Uriah.
fascinating. It passed so fast, we didn't even notice. And
Right,
thank
yeah.
you to our listeners of the Water Academy by Water.io, the smartest water bottle in the world. If you want to read more about us, visit our website, water.io, and you can read and learn all about this product. And thank you, Gil. I'm Nitzan,
Thank you,
and we'll
Nitzan.
see you in the next episode.